So this last video here is just going to be me explaining the results of my email marketing campaign. So I've come into the campaigns tab and I have already searched RDK and it's come up with the 3 that we've got running. So these 2 have finished now. These are both the Christmas roundups, 1 to target guests and 1 to past guests as well. So if we open up the first one, we just click report here. And this one was to the target guests. So we can see here some information about how that campaign went. So it sent out 27 emails, so to 27 targets, and only 25 were delivered. Now we can find out why 2 of them weren't delivered later on. But so far, you can see that we've had 15 email opens altogether. So it's been opened 15 times. You can also see down here that we've got 7 unique opens. Now, the difference between email opens and unique opens is that this is how many people have opened it, and this is how many times the email has been opened. So 7 people have maybe opened it twice, a couple maybe 2 or 3 times to get 15 email opens in total. Unfortunately, even though we had a lot of internal links there, we did get 0 clicks and 0 unique clicks, which is quite disappointing to see. And then over here, we've got bounces and unsubscribes. So we've got 1 hard bounce, which means that it wasn't delivered at all. And this happens when you've got an email that is either out of service now, or it's been typed wrong, or it's just the wrong email address. 1 spam bounce, which means that it's gone into one person's spam email. And 0 unsubscribes. So out of the 25 people that were sent the email, we've had 0 unsubscribes, which I will take that as a win. That kind of shows me that the people that have opened it have read it, maybe not clicked on any of the links inside it, but they've read it and had enough interest in it to not unsubscribe from it. So that might tell me that future newsletters are actually quite a good idea, that people might like to have that monthly roundup of content. And then here we can see the peak engagement times. So it was usually opened in the afternoon, in the PM, and it was opened on the Tuesday. Now that makes sense because it was sent out on a Tuesday. It was sent out on Tuesday, the 14th of December. We've had a couple of opens on other days here. Surprised to see one on a Saturday, since it is kind of more of a work email. And then, of course, we've got the bounces here. We can see here how people are opening it. So we've got 7 unknown opens. So maybe on a mobile or a tablet or something like that. 20% using Gmail and 33% using Microsoft Edge. So that is the roundup of that particular. So we just click on the other one for previous guests. We've done a little bit better on this one. So we have sent out 23 and only got 22 delivered. So that means that one of the emails was wrong. 15 email opens yet again, slightly higher engagement rate, probably just because we've had a couple less emails sent out. 8 unique opens though, which tells me that 8 people that we've sent it to have opened it, which is slightly better than the last one, even though we had less emails sent out. Again, we've had 0 clicks, which is quite disappointing. No one's clicked on any of the content inside the email itself. And then on the bounces and unsubscribes, we got 1 hard bounce, which makes sense because we sent out 23 and only 22 were delivered. That will probably mean that we've got 1 email that is now out of service. As they were a previous guest, maybe they've left the company that they were at, so that email is now deactivated. We can click on this, click search contacts, and it will tell us who that is. So Carlos Santos. So perhaps he's left the company now, perhaps his email is changed. So we'll have to make sure that we double check that email address, go back through our records and just see if we need to update that information. But heading back here, we've had 0 soft bounces, 0 spam bounces, which is great. None of them have gone into spam. Probably most likely to go into spam when you're targeting people that haven't received emails from you before. Obviously, all of these people are people that I've contacted before, so they are less likely to go into the spam folder. And again, we've had 0 unsubscribes, which tells me that people are reading the email, not choosing to unsubscribe, which is fine. That means that there might be scope to do a monthly newsletter, which is quite exciting. So if we look at the period between the 13th of December to the 31st of December, that shows us from the day before that we sent the email out and then a couple of weeks after, so we can see just how far the engagement goes. So obviously we've had nothing on the 13th, nothing was sent out that day. That's absolutely fine. On the 14th, we can see that 23 of the emails were sent and it was opened 6 times. And then the next day again, 2 opens, and then further down the line, another open there. So we've had no emails clicked, unfortunately. That line is just flat. Goal URL visits down, HV URL visits down, and web page visits down as well. Peak engagement times, obviously the Tuesday, that's the day that we sent them all out. That doesn't surprise me at all. Browser analytics, so this is a little bit more interesting than the last one. Most of them have come from Microsoft Office, some from Gmail. The unknown, I would assume, is some kind of mailing app on a mobile or tablet. Then we've got Apple Mail and Microsoft Edge. So the great thing about this campaign is obviously less bounces, more opens, and with both of them, we've had no unsubscribes. So that tells me that people are reading it, but maybe not clicking on things. This could be for a multitude of reasons. It could just be that it was the time of year, even that people were so busy that it was just not something that they had time to do. It could be that people just weren't interested in the content. I think to really find that out, we would have to send out a few more newsletters, monthly newsletters maybe, to tell people about content that we've put out and content that's upcoming, to make sure that we can see if there is enough scope to keep sending monthly newsletters.